Peace, love, and Black Power, family. I am excited. I am so excited right now. But firstly, I am your host for the evening, Shakti Sterner, also editor-in-chief of Get This Wisdom magazine. And family, I must say we have one of the most powerful sisters that I have encountered thus far in my journey. And when I look at her and what she's done throughout the years, I'm simply blown away because there are not a lot of our sisters taking a strong, powerful stance in the righteousness of ancestral divinity. So with our guest tonight, Miss Nataki of Let's Buy Black 365, and also the host of Connect TV. She's on with us tonight, family. And if you haven't heard of Let's Buy Black 365, it's a very, very, very powerful institution that has been created by Miss Nataki to bring together our people in a sense of entrepreneurship and growing in a fiscal manner. So I'm just gonna be quiet right now because y'all know I can run my mouth, and I'm gonna bring the queen up to the forefront. Miss Nataki is in the building. Peace, queen. How you doing?
I am black. How are you?
I can't complain at all. I'm like a kid in a candy store right now.
All right, that is fantastic. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
No.
And although I did want to clarify one thing, I am the spokesperson for Let's Buy Black 365, and I am credited with a lot of the movement just because my business background has brought a lot to the movement. But it was actually a collaborative effort in creating Let's Buy Black 365 from a couple of people of various backgrounds who just saw the need to not just talk about the problem ad nauseum and really have a mechanism for solutions. And more so, it's not been so much a movement of businesses and mobilizing businesses or business owners. It's really been a movement of like-minded individuals who want to connect with other like-minded individuals to do institution building and to network and to really come together so that we can each have control over our dollars. We can have control over where and how we're spending those dollars, and we can have control over how we are voting with our dollars to create the kind of world that we want to live in, so that we can either choose to finance businesses that are focused on our empowerment, or we can choose to finance those that are perpetuating our oppression. So that's really what the movement is about. And so it is, focused on business in a sense, but it's not driven by businesses. Of course, we need them to be able to, have places to identify as resources. But yeah.
Indeed, beautiful. And shout out to the viewers, by the way. They're already tuning in to you. Your hot stuff tonight. So for like the one person that hides out in the corner, like far back in the room, that doesn't know who you are, do you mind dropping a little bit of your history and what you do for our people in your many, 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 many endeavors?
Well, I don't feel like I have many endeavors. My background, I always give credit to my parents. They are both warrior elder scholars in the community. My father is an author, speaker, activist, leader in the community. And he owned Blacknificent Books and More, which is where I get that. I am Blacknificent. Because the idea was that we as a people are more than magnificent, we're Blacknificent. So that's a term that he coined in the late 80s, early 90s. And then my mother is a past president of the National Association of Black Psychologists, and every year takes dozens of people on the Sankofa journey to Ghana, West Africa, because a lot of, when we really look at a lot of the problems that are happening, a lot has to do with us being disconnected from who we are, and not just being disconnected, because it's one thing if you're disconnected and you know it, because then you're always like, okay, well, this is where I'm trying to get back to. It's a completely different thing to be disconnected and not even realize that you're disconnected, And so she and my brother, Dr. Obadale Kamban, my father's Kamau Kamban, my mother's Dr. Malia Kamban, and my brother, Dr. Obadale Kwame Kamban, take people to Ghana, West Africa on this really deeply spiritual journey to reconnect with our culture, history, and heritage. And people can check out kamaukamban.org or sankofajourney.com to hear and see more about those resources. But coming up in that kind of a family, with that kind of Black love and with that passion for community, I think is what really inspired a lot of what I do. In addition to the fact that professionally, I am a management consultant. So I help individuals set up, manage, and operate small businesses who don't have a business background, persons who are like, I have an idea, I have the investment, and they bring it to me and I turn it into a fully functional, operational, profitable venture, so that they can get past the scariness and minimize the risk of starting a business. One of the challenges that I observed is that I've been doing this for 17 years, and that in that 17 years, none of my clients have been Black. And I have launched successful enterprises and help people get back on, get their business back on track, who are white or Asian or Arab or, any number of races. But when it comes to our community, there is a disconnect when it comes to all different kinds of things. I say that, we see this with doctors. People say, I don't need a doctor to tell me what's wrong with me. And we will literally die before, letting a doctor even diagnose. It's like, you don't even necessarily have to get treated, but at least get diagnosed. Same with psychology. Nobody can tell me what's wrong with me. We have, unfortunately, this false sense of pride about not asking for help, or thinking that getting help is somehow taking away from who you are. And where other people are building and growing businesses to capacity and to profitability in weeks and months, we will struggle for months and years and decades with a, not even break even profit company that, barely can sustain the owner, let alone employ other people. And so with that kind of background and ideology in mind, I even though Let's Buy Black is mainly about us as individuals, I am bringing some of that expertise to the movement and looking to identify businesses who can get that kind of help, because without stable, functioning, profitable Black-owned businesses, we can't create the jobs. And without those jobs, people can't move off plantations. There's just so many effects that, having economic empowerment puts us in a position to do so many things. So, that's kind of how all of that kind of links together in terms of my background, in terms of family, and background in terms of professional background. And so as the spokesperson for Let's Buy Black 365, my role has really just been to let people know about the movement and really inspire action. So it's not really for those who want to sit down and just talk about problems. It's really for those who want to get engaged and create solutions. People who have different skills have come to the movement and said, I want to help with this, or I want to do this, or I'm really great at, whatever they're great at, they can kind of bring it to the movement, so that we're not always giving our intellectual property to people who don't look like us, we are bringing some of that back to the community so that we can actually create our own empowerment.
Most definitely, given what we're going through right now as a community, especially when we look at the lack of financial resources and resources in general, it definitely takes the true heart of an African to come together and decide that this is what we're going to do. We're not going to talk anymore. We're result oriented, and this is how we're going to make it happen. And everybody plays their selected roles in meeting such endeavors. So I would like to ask you, Queen, what has been your biggest inspiration for you to continue to do the work that you've done for our people, because I'm looking through a lot of your history here personally, and you've been a community activist, such as you attributed with your Baba and your mom. What inspires Nataki to add on to certain endeavors, such as Let's Buy Black 365 and so many other things?
I mean, honestly, just looking at the landscape of the Black community, not just here in the United States, but throughout the diaspora, it's abysmal. It really is. When you look at the state of so many things within the Black community, from domestic violence issues or underemployment, or the education systems where children are, people keep saying the education system is broken, it's not working right. No, the education system is working perfectly. It is designed to miseducate your children. And people think, hey, we need to get real about it and stop dancing around it. Other people, I'm sure, like, if you are stupid enough to send your children to be miseducated in our school system, then you get what you get. And what every other community does is they may send their children to the public school system, but then they also have systems where they're educating at home, where they have Saturday schools, or they have self-education in addition to whatever else. So there may be a Chinese school, there are all kinds of immersion schools, there are Muslim schools. They do not rely on the public education system alone to educate their children, because they know what it's designed to do. So, when we look at all of these things and the lack of knowledge, the lack of understanding, and the lack of action towards better options, I've always been the kind of person, I can't just sit back and watch things go wrong or watch things burn and not proactively get involved in creating realistic solutions for our people. That's since I always tell a story. In second grade, I think, is when I really became committed to activism in some capacity. I heard Marvin Gaye's song, Mercy, Mercy Me, and listened to what he was talking about, the birds are dying, and, the environmental destruction, and police brutality. I mean, there's so many things that he covers on that whole album. But in that song, that, as a 7-year-old, I was like, how could I not do something about this? And I think it wasn't until maybe about 2015. I did some things in high school and college, and I always, we had the family bookstore where we brought in all different kinds of speakers, and Dr. Khaled used to come in all the time, and Baba Leonard Jeffries and Baba James Small, and so many warrior scholars. I can't even remember most right now. Steve Coakley, Baba Asa Hilliard. There were just so many people, but I really don't think I really took on the charge until, I think it was actually 2014, with the death of Trayvon Martin, what subsequently happened, years later with Sandra Bland, and all these different kinds of things. Every single aspect of what's going on in the Black community stems from our not being economically empowered. Because when you control the economics in your community, then you control the school system and you control what education your children get. When you control the economics in your community, you control the jobs. And so we know there's a direct correlation between a lot of the domestic violence issues and employment. Because a lot of that has to do with men feeling emasculated and feeling like they can't control, being the man of the house. And so they exert control in ways that are incredibly unhealthy. When we look at the obesity in the Black community, that tends to, there's so much obesity because the foods that are unhealthy are subsidized by the government and they tend to be cheaper. And so people will rather spend money on the cheaper things that cause health problems than spend money on things that are more healthful. So, every problem in the Black community, I always say, has an economic undercurrent. And so this was the most logical place. And I guess maybe also my business background, even within a business, before I go in and create a holistic fix to right side a business and get it profitable and functional, the first thing you do is you look at the accounting. You look at how is this business being managed financially? Where are the financial controls that are out of place or that can be put in place to create a system that works and that is self-sustaining? That's how you right side a business, or that's how I right side a business. And when we look at the Black community, our solutions are going to have to start with an economic solution. Otherwise, we're just dealing with the symptoms. And, it's great that, there are groups that are tackling obesity or tackling domestic violence, but they're putting Band-Aids on gaping, gushing, fatal wounds. And we don't have time or the luxury to just do quick fixes. We need broad, wide scale, national, international, diasporic solutions for Black people. And so that's why I'm involved.
Definitely, Queen. There's a quote that you made. Economics is at the heart of every issue that plagues the Black community. Mm-hmm. And you definitely just touched bases on that. We have a big problem. We have a huge problem. We live in a society that is completely foreign to us. We operate off of an economic system that's completely foreign to us. Naturally, it's not organic to who we are by our DNA. So given the state of this society, it's quite tragic that our people don't understand the severity of what's going on. When a man can't financially or in that type of way provide for his family, he automatically feels as if he's disadvantaged. He doesn't feel as if he's being a man, and it's designed this way. It's definitely designed this way for our men to feel like they have their backs into a corner, and and the sisters are tired because they're like, okay, now I got to pick up the financial weight because maybe my king has a felony and he can't get a job. So now I have to do the job of him and I'm tired. I can't be the nurturer that I'm supposed to be. And now the children are directly affected in that way.
Start layering in, I mentioned diet and obesity, but then also food, alcohol, drugs end up being coping mechanisms. So, in some cases, it's not just a health choice. It's, eating becomes a way of coping with other issues. Alcohol becomes a way of coping. The epidemic now around marijuana, now that it's legalized, people are like, okay, it's okay because the government said it's okay. But the reality is, we as a people do not need one more way to escape from what is going on. We need to be able to head on deal with the problems in our community. And, the whole point of the Let's Buy Black movement is to really empower people to take advantage of how, you might not be able to control the trillions of dollars that are spent in the Black community every year, but you can control your whatever ends up on your W-2 or 1099 at the end of the year. Those are dollars within your control, and you can control where those dollars go and what you're choosing to finance. And that is incredibly empowering. And I don't think there has been a movement to date that has really given individuals that level of power to really define their own lives and define their future, and to really stake out, this is my claim. I am choosing to not finance my oppression anymore.
Indeed. So while we have our center focus on Let's Buy Black 365, what does that platform have to offer the people, and how can they be involved in supporting the initiative?
Yeah, so there are 2 URLs right now. They're eventually going to become one. But if you go to Let's, LETS, buy, BUI, Black 365.com, there are a number of things there. There's a crowdsourced business directory where we invite everyone watching to identify the Black-owned businesses that add them to the directory, so that we can stop the myth that there are no good quality Black-owned businesses. And then you can also rate and review those businesses so that other people around you can know, okay, well, Shakti got good service here, 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 and here. These are now businesses that I can patronize. So there's the crowdsourced business directory. There is a social network app called Connect, where persons are just encouraged to connect with other like-minded individuals about whatever it is that you have in common, and just to reach out to new people. We do have Connect, but we're also strategically partnered with a BB Toomey. Their logo is probably behind me, but a BB Toomey is the African Language Network, but they also have a social network that gets like 2 million visitors, and they're doing all kinds of amazing things. And between the BB Toomey online and app, there's so many people who are moving in that space that we also encourage people to connect with a BB Toomey. And we also have the show that just came out that we're really, really excited about. It's all about how we really, there's so much positivity happening in the Black community, and that's what Get This Wisdom is about. And it's not showcased because we keep relying on other people's media to tell us what's trendy, what's new, what's good, what's whatever. And that's not what they're ever going to do to our benefit. The things that some Black entertainment television shows will tell you is that things that are detrimental to our mental health, our physical health, and our spiritual health are what's trendy. And so this is really about how we reclaim the narrative, and we control the messages that, the underground messages about what's really going on that you might not realize are going on because of the disconnect. So Connect, both the social network and the show, are about really connecting those resources and connecting you as the viewer to the resources that you just, that you've been waiting for, longing for, hoping for, that you just didn't know were out there. So there's that. We're also really excited. I used to do a training course for clients to help them for larger companies, to help them do kind of in-house broadcasting to help with corporate culture. But I'm really excited that we're hiring within Connect and training to create a new wave of media professionals who are all focused on positive Black solutions. So Persons can go to, there's letsbuyblack365.com and letsbuyblack.com. I think there are links to both. But if you go to letsbuyblack.com and you get to the Connect TV show, you can see the links to become a broadcast journalist. And we'll actually, you take a training course. It's an accelerated training course. And, rather than trying to go to a community college or go to a four-year college to get into a professional level career, we're training people to become broadcast journalists and report the relevant, music or culture or history or business news or whatever is going on in your neighborhood through that whole training program. And so I'm really excited. The movement is not just talking about creating jobs and the need for it, but we're also doing it. We're also training and hiring persons to do sales. There was a famous book by George Sabira, and I hope I don't misquote the title, Why Black Folks Can't Sell or Scared to Sell. And, sales is one of the #1 professions in the country. And we have been so conditioned through slavery to only think of our gifts in terms of hourly wages, that, a lot of the professional jobs and jobs with a lot of more earning potential, like sales, like professional jobs, just are not things we go after. And, I think that's two-sided. I won't get too much into that, but I think it's the self-hatred and self-doubt that maybe I won't be able to do this. So I would rather just get paid for my time for being here rather than, get paid for actually what I'm accomplishing. But, the more highly paid professions are ones that are, performance-based. And so for those who are ready to step out of, maybe some of the other kinds of jobs and step into more professional capacities, we're training people how to actually do that. And then for those who complete the training, we're going to be the first ones to hire. I mean, hopefully they can go somewhere else, but we're also, hiring people who now have a whole new skill set to be able to empower the Black community.
Beautiful. So you spoke upon Connect TV. Family, I have to tell you, I got to tune in personally, and I'm completely hooked. I'm a fan. The content, the quality content that's being delivered just by the show itself is phenomenal, family. And it definitely shows the creative genius that we have embedded within our DNA. So I just want to say, shout out to you and our brother doing this thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it's. I was just amazed.
It's been a lot of fun. I think sometimes when we think of social movements or cultural movements, we think that it's got to be, activism has to be dreary or drudgery, and there is a narrative that it's always about struggle. It's always about sacrifice. And one of the things that we're putting out there is that it doesn't have to be struggle and sacrifice. It can be rewarding, and it can be fun, and it can be all of these other things. And so it's been really exciting to be a part of this project. Doing the show is really fun. And just those who've been working, this movement is not a local movement. This is national. So there are people all over the country who've been involved, and more coming on who, it's just been amazing. I invite everyone on letsbuyblack365.com. I think /get involved, letsbuyblack365.com /get involved. You can identify what you're good at and what talent you want to now use to empower the Black community, and just join in with a number of people all over the country who are really inspired and are really taking action around some of the things that we just hear that we need to do, and we keep talking about needing to do. But this is it's such a great feeling to be around people who are actually doing it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So when we look at this from a business standpoint, for any business owners that may be tuning in, what are the advertising opportunities that Let's Buy Black 365 and Connect TV has to offer? You don't have to go too much into uh the numbers game per se,
Right.
a brief
Right.
overview.
Yeah, so that's one of the really exciting parts, because a lot of businesses are undercapitalized, also in part because they don't have a lot of sales. And so we put together some packages that allow people to, one, get some business training acumen so that they can handle the growth while also getting more exposure to grow. And I think that is a really novel approach. So it's not just, and it's not just, general advertising. We have something that's called revolutionary underwriting, where persons get a whole new approach to reaching an audience of eager Black consumers. And I think that's something that we've never seen before. So really excited about that. Again, if you go to letsbuyblack.com/connecttv, or either website has a link to the Connect TV show, you can click. There's a sub menu that has become an underwriter, and so businesses can do that. I will say the caveat is that we're not taking all businesses. We want only those businesses that are committed to the Black community, that are doing positive things, that have good follow-up and follow-through and great customer service and all these different kinds of things. If the company is not there with those kinds of things, part of the reason why there's some business development linked into it is we'll help the company get there. But we definitely want to make sure that what we are inviting all of our viewers and subscribers and members to are to take advantage of quality Black-owned businesses. The other side of that is there are certain companies that we just will not deal with. So, I mentioned earlier, we don't need any more liquor stores. We don't need any more drugs in the Black community. So, those companies you'll never see any thing from those kinds of companies on. They do have to be Black owned. They do also, have to meet some quality standards. So, we're not just talking about, advertising can be a very big business, and we're definitely approaching it from a business standpoint, but we're also approaching it from what's known as a socially responsible standpoint, where we want to make sure that the information that we're sharing is not just Black, but it's Black excellence, it's quality, it's Blacknificent, it's all of these things. And so, any company that's interested in underwriting, if you're watching this and you're like, wow, I was talking to somebody who was like, wow, I might need to save up some money. So, I need to save up some money so I could do this thing. And I said, well, why not take the training course? I'll go ahead and put that price out there. It's normally a $3,000 course. And the Let's Buy Black 365 movement has subsidized it so that individuals can enter into professionalism or a professional space for, I think, like $250 to $500. And so it's really giving persons who may not have had other types of professional opportunities a real opportunity to do something different. So, persons are welcome to fill out the form that's on there about taking the course, and just begin the process of being, we talk about being the solution. And one of the mantras we had at the beginning of last year, and we say this a lot, that every Black person in the country could say this to themselves, and stand in power when saying it. And that is, I am the solution. No, excuse me. I am the resource. I am the solution. I am the resource my people need. I am the Let's Buy Black 365 movement. And, you know, that's really what it's all about.
I'm over here just I'm emotional to a degree. Everybody knows Shaki is a big old crybaby. It's just beautiful what you all have going on over there, and it's definitely a missing component and element in what we need right now. What most of our people, uh, I don't want to say are ignorant to, because ignorant has a negative depiction, but when
We
we
just
come
don't know. We're disconnected.
yeah, we're disconnected from source, most definitely. And we don't realize that in order to have any true revolution or to seek liberation, we do have to have an economical base or structure of some sort. So, once again, thank you for everything that you all have going on over there. It's just simply amazing. And I want to move.
Definite shout outs to everyone who's working on the production team. You know, it's Talib, the co-host of the show, has you know, he actually started out as one of the directors, and now he's come from behind the camera and he's in front of the camera. Shout out to Severin, who's been on an activist with Let's Buy Black 365 for over 2 years now. You know, definite shout out. I shouldn't have started naming people because then you start leaving people out. But you know, Mason on the production team. There's so many people who have had their hands in this, and this is what Black Revolution really is. It's people bringing their talents together and creating something that can empower all of us. And so definitely welcome everyone watching to go to Let's Buy Black 365. You can register there. We've got a new site coming out, so some of that will be changing soon. Definitely connect with me. I'll give my office line. So I always tell people you can't text this line, but you can call it. And you know, if the caveat is, if you want to call, you've got to be solutions oriented. So I don't want to go down roads about everything that's wrong in the Black community. If you're calling, it's, I've got this solution. How do we do it? Here's what I'm doing. It's got to be from that stance of power, because I'm tired of talking to, you know, I used to join organizations and get so frustrated that they had meeting after meeting after meeting and no progress. And then it was the meeting to plan the meeting about the meeting they were going to have about the meeting they had left. No, we don't do that at Let's Buy Black 365. In fact, when we have meetings, they all start out with, what did every person on this call say they were going to do last time? Open with that. What did you accomplish? And that way we're always dealing with the solution. And then the next part of the call is, so we accomplished this, and this. What are we doing next? So it's always progressive. And I think that's what progressive, you know, I think people forget that word. And so, you know, it's like I said, it's just really inspiring to be around so many progressive minded people who are actually achieving and doing things.
Most definitely. Can you give the viewers the times and dates to view Connect TV? Because as
Definitely.
I said, I'm a
Definitely.
fan.
I was talking to a couple people earlier today, said they were binge watching the first 4 episodes. So Connect TV live streams on Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern. And you can go to letsbuyblack.com/Connect TV, all lowercase. And again, that's the letsbuyblack.com without the 365. And get to Connect TV. You can see the past episodes. You can see the trailers. There's some bonus videos there. And soon there'll, for registered users, they'll be able to get some of the outtakes and some of the bonus videos and interviews and things that we've had from some celebrities and experts and just a range of the Black excellence in our community, and really excited about that piece rolling out soon. But yeah, it's 12 episodes in season 1. We just aired episode 4 this past Monday. So you can kind of binge watch those and get caught up with us this Monday at 8. Encourage everybody, if you're like me, I have so many things in my head, definitely encourage you to get out your smartphone and set a reminder alarm for, Watch Connect TV show, and put in letsbuyblack.com/Connect TV. You can watch it live stream from your phone, any device that you have. And then also, if you are interested in the movement and you would like us to send you some information, I can share the phone number that you can use to text to join. So I was going to give out my other number. That one you cannot text, but the text to join number for those who want to take advantage of that, I guess maybe you can flash on screen because I'm slow getting it up here. Let's see if I can grab it. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, if you want to text to join, you can text the number 505-652-2365. Again, that number is 505-652-2365. And you could just put, don't send paragraphs, but if you put a meaningful one-liner, you'll get a link back for what you put in. So if you say sales course, if you say host training course, if you say get involved, if you say connect TV or connect me, whatever you put in there, you'll get the link back for that direct resource. And invite everyone again to message that or just go directly to the sites. Again, that number is 505-652-2365. And I know we're running out of time, but if I could, the one other thing that persons can take advantage of, I shared what I've been doing professionally outside of Let's Buy Black 365. But one of the things we're doing is we're identifying individuals who want to grow and scale a company to the enterprise level. And for persons who want to do that, we're actually going to a major event this summer. And for those who take advantage of this over the next couple of months, we actually want to bring you to that event and showcase this is the potential for what it looks like when we actually invest in our own business ideas and create something real. These are what the companies will look like. These are the number of jobs the companies will create. This is what the owner experiences and his or her family experience. So if you are interested in taking advantage of that, use the same number. I will say the caveat with that. Whereas if you were going to get a business loan or seeking some kind of investment or something, they tend to want to see, a 30, 40, sometimes 50% investment, and then they'll match the rest. It's not a loan or a grant. We're actually making a $1 million pool of resources available to businesses, and not 30%, not 40%, not 50%. Companies can come in and do like 10% and get to, and sometimes even 5%, and get the resources to grow to an enterprise level company. And the reason we made it where it was not free is because we definitely wanted to weed out people who were not serious. Also, for persons who are like, well, I don't have any savings, but I want to do something. Until you get some savings, until you get even the routine of having savings, you're not ready for entrepreneurship. So we're differentiating those who are not ready for entrepreneurship versus those who are ready. And it's really, similar to what I said earlier. It's the idea and the investment. And then, we're not coaching, we're not training. It's nothing like that. We're actually coming in and implementing full service what needs to happen to get the company operational and profitable. So if you're interested in that, you can text the phrase "scale my business" to 505-652-2365.
Look, I'm over here like, yeah, get this wisdom. We probably need to take a look into that. But definitely, we know that you're a busy sister, and we got you in between meetings, so we know we have to bid you farewell. But viewers, do not be disappointed. We do have our family over at Connect TV. Hence Miss Nataki coming back with a couple of segments in a near future. So definitely stay tuned for that. Support Let's Buy Black 365. Support Connect TV. Support yourself by supporting these endeavors.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is really an opportunity to support yourself. I mean, this movement is really here for individuals who want to support themselves and want to support other people who look like them. So the support is really, just rethinking how you as an individual empower yourself.
Indeed, beautiful. And before you go, Queen, I know we're looking at 2 minutes. Do you have any final thoughts you would like to share? If you want to share any contact information for your personal business management services that you provide, anything of that nature, the mic is yours.
I just want to say I'm just so excited about Get This Wisdom magazine. We have a phrase, and we actually have a whole segment coming up called Black Media is Black Power. And when we talk about Black excellence, the quality of your publication and the stories that you have in it, the children's corner, I love that, the work that I can see that goes into that publication, so that we can get this wisdom it is very inspiring. And I'm just so excited to, for you all to have us on the show, and just really excited about, just the potential for, so many of us who don't see ourselves in media to see a different side of ourselves through the lens of Get This Wisdom. So I just want to thank you for all you do to be a Black media power source.
Thank you very much. It's definitely an honor. Shout out to my partner, Callie Divine. I love you, Queen. There is no Get This Wisdom without Callie D. And shout out to the rest of the team, by the way. We have a powerful team working with us also. It's a collaborative.
I met several of your team members. I was so impressed by the stellar professionalism. I was like, wow, y'all are rocking it over there.
Thank you. What's the terminology? It's not it's I am because we are, but since we are, I guess it's because we are. So we are a reflection of what you got going on over there. We're honored to be amongst the cipher of greatness, and I'm excited for the many possibilities to come in the future, Queen. I really am. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So looking forward to meeting all the new Let's Buy Black 365 folks who heard about it through Get This Wisdom. And we'll definitely see you soon.
Indeed. So we have to let our Queen go. And once again, thank you for coming on tonight, Queen. It's been a pleasure, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace, love, and Black power.
Black power, a BB Fahodie.